Good evening. Welcome to In the House Media House Call. I'm Isabella, and I'm your host tonight. And we have our guest, Mr. Roger Hill of Roger Hill Music. Welcome, Mr. Hill. How are you tonight?
Hello, how are you? I'm well. Thanks.
That's good. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight on In the House Media House Call. So, Mr. Hill, now we're here to just discuss your background and some more information on how you got started in the music industry. So, just to get things started, can you go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself um, as we go through this process?
hmm Well, my name is Roger Hill, and I go by the artist name of Roger Hill Music. I have only been singing professionally for coming up on 2 years. I've been singing really all my life, or it's been in me since about 3 or 4 years old. Um, my sister and we used to sing at all the different churches up in Rochester, New York. And my mother was like that Joe Jackson of that era. And she would book the show. She had me taking guitar lessons, piano lessons. I learned how to play the drums. Um, and then from that point on, it was just singing, but I never really wanted to sing. My sister had the voice of Diana Ross, and we were being managed by Lou Ross's manager back then. And but I like I said, I never wanted to sing. My sister, she kind of went on and she was doing stuff. I started doing the other stuff I wanted to do, play football and run around and do all the crazy stuff. As time went on in my life, I promoted shows, I owned clubs. I would deal with different entertainers that I would bring them to the club and stuff like that. So I always was in the music business some kind of way. And I'll never forget one time I did a show. I think it was like Calvin Richardson, and I was going to lose some money on the show. So my mentor back then, I went to her and I was like, "Listen, Marietta," I said, "I'm going to lose some money." So she was like, "Listen," she said, "just get you a bottle or something and get drunk." So
Get drunk.
I get a bottle of Dom Perignon, right? And she said, "Just have some fun." I drank the whole bottle of Dom Perignon right before Calvin Richardson was come on stage, right? So I went out there. I was feeling good. So I told this band, I was like, "Yo, y'all know how to play Heat Wave, Always and Forever?" And they said, "Yeah." I was like, "Start playing it." I went out there and sung Always and Forever and blew it away. And people was like, "Oh." And that was the first time people really kind of heard me sing at a older age, But I still didn't catch the bug then, I wind up later on moving to Atlanta. And when I moved to Atlanta, I didn't move here to do any singing. I basically moved here to get into construction like I was back in New York. But during that time, probably about 10 years ago, I started going to Cat's Cafe. Cat's a good friend of mine. She's one of the singers in Climax. And on Thursday nights, they have open mic night. So I would go there. And I'm always singing something, I was singing songs by Donny Hathaway, Heat Wave, Jodeci. And I will always just go back, keep practicing. So probably about a couple of years ago, I'm going to say about a couple of years ago, I was driving one day and Footsteps in the Dark came on by the Isley Brothers. And it just hit me, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna learn how to sing that song on open mic night." So I think that might have been like on a Monday or Tuesday or whatever. So I started listening to the song, trying to learn the words, and I wound up going down to Catch that Thursday. And I basically just told people like this: I said, "Listen, I'm gonna sing this song, Footsteps. Don't know all the words, but pray my strength in the Lord."
That's right.
And I started singing it, it didn't do bad. So I started, what I was doing, I kept going back. And I said I was going to learn it, until I perfected it. And I got good with Footsteps in the Dark and started singing some other stuff, Between the Sheets and all that stuff. But then there was this one guy that I guess he was a promoter, a producer. and he would come in and he would listen to me. So he approached me a couple of times, but I kind of like brushed him off because I really wasn't trying to be bothered like that. But I guess he went to Kat and, said, hey, Kat, I've been trying to get up with this guy, what's up? So Kat came to me and she's like, hey, Roger, the guy's trying to, see what's up. Just go over and see what's up. I said, all right, cool, no problem. Only because of you. And went over there. The guy tells me, he was like, hey, he said, I like the way you sing. He said, have you ever wrote a song before? And I said, no. I said, but I wrote poems before. He said, I got this track I wrote, I produced, and he said, I want to see if you write a song. He said, I'll give you 2 weeks to do it. I said, all right, cool. So he sent it to me on that Thursday, but I didn't take a listen to it until that Saturday. So I'm driving and I'm listening to it. And I said, it don't sound too bad. So, but one thing I want to always say is this. Before I write any of my songs, up until now, all my songs, I always pray. I always pray and ask God to give me the knowledge, the wisdom, the strength, the ability to write these songs. Because I never know what I was going to write. And I did that before I started writing that song. And it started coming to me. I wound up finishing that song in 2 days. Go to the studio. And I recorded my vocals. When I heard that song, my vocals, I told that guy, I said, hey, that song is going to be a hit. He looked at me like he was red from the 5 heartbeats, like, yeah, right, So what happened, he was talking about copyrights, we could share the copyrights or whatever, split the copyrights, but I didn't know anything about it. So I was trying to learn, but he was kind of being aggressive. Like,
you want to share the information?
I was telling him like this, I need to learn first. But he was like so in a rush because, I don't want to be signing something I don't know what I'm signing.
Exactly.
Understand, I didn't know anything on the music part. I always knew about promoting shows and stuff. And this was something new. So as time went on, I'm trying to, read up and ask people. So during that course of time, one of my friends, Rick Marcel, plays for Cool in the Game. So I had reached out to him. I said, hey, Rick, I said, I want you to lay some strings down to this song that I'm going to do. So he listened to it. He was like, hey, you want to pitch it? I was like, nope, I'm going to keep it. So he agreed. When he agreed to, he started enhancing the song because Rick used to play for the Isley Brothers also.
Okay.
So as time went on, he was sending the stuff that he would enhance over to the guy, right? Then the guy would be changing stuff. So when I listened to it, I'm like, what is he doing? So I'll tell Rick, like, man, I'll send it over to him and let him listen to it. He said, why is he changing stuff? So as time went on, he said, hey, listen, I got some guy that can mix and master the song for you. He said he'd charge $100. So I was like, that's kind of cheap. So
that was cheap, $100.
Yeah. So he introduced me to the guy, right? When I met him, he showed me his mixing board. It was the size of a lunchbox. I was like, that don't look like them Dr. Dre type board.
But no wonder it was $100. A lunchbox.
So the guy still kept trying to press on this copyright stuff, right? So I was like, dude, just slow down. So he was kind of getting a little belligerent. I was like, yo, you need to chill. So what happened, I wound up finding Patchwork Studios. I Googled them, they took a trip down there and they showed me the studio. And I was sold, I saw the big mixing board and all that. So paid for my session or whatever. So that was a Thursday. So it was going to be on that Monday. So I had contacted the guy and I told him I need you to send all the files over to Patchwork. So that Sunday came, Patchwork winds up, it calls me. Hey, Mr. Hill, we can't do your session because we don't have your files. I said, well, the guy sent over the files. It's like, no, he sent over MP3 files. We need WAV files. And that was the first time I even found out about WAV and MP3. I didn't know nothing about it. So now I started calling the guy. He's not answering. I'm texting. He's not answering.
This is a lunchbox guy, right?
Well, not that, but the other guy who did
Oh, okay.
yeah, him. He's supposed to be a little producer dude. So I calls my boy Rick, because Rick lives over in Houston. I was like, yo, man, I said, this dude, I think he can screw me over. I said, he's not answering my call. He sends MP3 files and everything. So that was at 6 o'clock that Sunday. So Rick said, listen, he said, give me a couple hours. He said, I'll hit you back. I said, all right, cool. So about 9 o'clock, Rick hits me back. He said, listen, I redid the whole song over. He said, go on and get your own copyright. He said, go to the studio, lay your vocals down tomorrow. And he said, from this point on, we don't even need him. We'll take it from there.
Wow.
So when I went to the computer and I opened up what he sent me, and I'm listening to it, the name of the song's gonna come back to me, and I'm listening to it, I was so much, oh, it kind of blew me away. All I heard was that bum, bum, bum. So the next day, I went to the studio, laid my vocals down, and while I'm doing it, I said, I'm about to show this dude better than I could tell him.
Yeah.
And that's what got me into where I'm at now.
That's
I
awesome.
really didn't know that I had it in me like that, but I'm one of these type of person. If you tell me no, I'm gonna prove it to you. I can show you better than I can tell you.
Exactly. And I can understand that, because, knowing that you had that talent in you ever since you were like 3 years old, it's just that you tapped into it. It's like the light bulb comes on, and then it's just like, I'm going to go for it. And no matter what, I'm going to make this work. So, and it has been very, you've been successful in, following your dreams around that. So now, Mr. Hill, now, as you got older, now I know you were 3-year-old when you start singing, and then you sang in the church. So as you got older, who were some of your influencers that helped you along the path?
Well, one of my favorite songs was Heat Wave, Always and Forever. I would listen to, I love music, so I listen to many different artists. And I don't know, for some reason though, there are people who would think that Ron Isley and the Isley Brothers would be, and it's like I said, when I first started, when I first heard their song and I wanted to sing it at open mic, I just got more into it, and I would listen to different things because I wanted to learn more than music, but I would just listen to many different artists. But here's the crazy part, I hear people be like, man, you sound almost like Ron, and like, I don't know, but I guess when I hear stuff like that, it makes me, and you gotta understand, you gotta give Ron he's a legend.
Yes.
He's a legend.
Yes.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
I respect him. I love his music, but when people say that, it lets me know that I'm on the right track. My music is in the right direction. Because for someone to just be coming out less than 2 years and you being compared to a legend,
yes, that speaks volumes. That definitely speaks volumes for your talent and your voice, and what people, for the people who are listening to you, what they hear, they're. And as I was listening to your music, it definitely does. You do sound, have the sound of the Isley Brothers. So I think that's something that you need to, take as, it's a compliment, because they are a legend. And it's just great to know that, I think they probably did maybe in some way influence your music. So now you talk about, you came out 2 years ago. It's just 2 years. So let's just fast forward a little bit now. You're currently on the Billboard and you hit the top 30 now. So how does that make you feel?
Well, yeah, I had one of my songs that charted number 30 on Billboard. This was back in January. And it's like, I didn't really have a feeling. It was just like, oh, okay. Because it's like, there's still a lot of people don't know who I am, so I still have room to grow.
But number 30 is not 100.
Oh, yeah.
So I think people know who you are if you're number 30.
Ain't number one either.
But you're getting there. You're gonna get there. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, but yeah, but I try to stay humble, but it makes me want to continue to keep working. Like when I write one song and I finish, okay, now I go to the next. Keep going to, but it's like I'm searching for a hit,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And so far, with the EP that I just released, and a lot of people have heard the music, it's like all of them are hits. I mean, Ron Isley, he gave me his seal of approval. He listened to my music, and he was like, "You got something there." Teddy Riley, he listened. He's like, "You got some hits." Keith Sweat, and heard my music. Sherelle, Alexander O'Neal. I mean, I've had some major players who have listened to my music and was like, "Yo, you got something there."
That's wonderful. And that's a great segue into my next question. So, what inspired the song Nobody Knows?
Well, I actually, I had broke up with my girlfriend. We were together like 5 years, almost 5 years. We broke up last year, and I hadn't seen her in a while. So one day I stopped over her house back in March, and I go there. She answers the door, and she's like, "Oh, I thought you'd have came back a long time, way before this." Because I was gone probably about 8 months or so, 9 months. So I come up in there, and so we just started talking. And so I noticed that she had all these tissue boxes all over, So I was like, "What are you doing? Just sitting around here just crying and boxes all over the place?" So I was like, "Girl, you need to go lay on somebody's couch." She's like, "Nah, you need to go lay on somebody's couch." So she gets up, right as she get up, and I'm just shaking my head like, "Wow, nobody knows." She starts saying like, "Nobody knows." Then it hit me. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how you feel. So when I left, I wrote it down on my notepad in my truck, and I started developing that song. And from March, and I went into the studio in June, and the rest was history.
Wow. Yeah. So I guess you had some reflections, and it just inspired the lyrics and everything, right?
The title inspired me. Nobody knows. It's like sometimes you can be as good as you want to be, but sometimes people just don't know how you may feel. You can explain all you want, but it's like this. Sometimes people can hear you, but they're not listening.
Exactly.
So I just started developing the song, but it's not. All the lyrics are not based on the situation, but the title, nobody knows or whatever.
Exactly.
I was inspired,
Yeah.
but everything else I just come up with certain things or whatever.
Right.
But that's how I came up with that song. That's where it was inspired.
Yeah, it's kind of like the saying that and nobody knows a lot of different things that we go through. It's kind of like that song that nobody knows the troubles that I've gone through. So I can relate to that. So when it comes down to artists and producers, is there anyone that you would really like to work with?
Well, I'm actually working with Stephen Russell, lead singer of Troop. Stephen has won 4 Grammys. Matter of fact, Steve is the producer of Nobody Knows. He produced it. I wrote the lyrics, he produced it. And we are actually in the studio right now working on an album slated for 2024. So I just finished another song last night in the studio. So we got some up-tempo stuff. We got a lot of nice music. And Steve is a great producer. Right now, I remember one time I had put out there about working with I know Teddy Riley. We were going to do something, and I wind up getting hooked up with Steve. But I want to say maybe a couple months ago, I had thought about and seeing how I can work with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Oh,
Uh,
Jimmy Jam. Yeah.
yeah, that's a whole different,
That's
league
a
or
whole
whatever,
different ball game. Yeah.
whole different ball game. So so right now, I look at it like this: it's just like a football team, and you're a coach. Sometimes you can be a no-namer, you know, and if you have a good plan, good concept, have the talent, you can become a winner where people recognize and know who you are, and then you
That's
can.
true.
So you don't always have to go to the top in order to become a winner. Sometimes you can start at the bottom and work your way up. That's when people respect you more.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's just the route that I guess I'm taking right now. No one knows who I am. I mean, there are people who do know. Don't get me wrong, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they know who I am. There was a song that I had did that me and Sherelle was working on together. And they heard it. It was a good song, but things couldn't really get things right business wise, so I had to go a different direction. But the song was a good song, and I wanted to release it. It's called "All the Love I Need."
Okay. So that one is out. So I want to take a listen to that one as well. So it's because music is forever changing. So what keeps you motivated?
Um, Again, you have a lot of ups and downs in this music. I've gone through some crazy things, some you got people take advantage of, that goes along with the territory. But again, it's like I'm searching for a hit, you know, and even though I know I may have a good song, but it's like I still go to the next. It's like I'm just continue just chasing. So it motivates me. And then when I let people take a listen to my music, and I let them, what do you think of this? So when they be like, oh, I like that. Okay, kind of get me hyped.
Okay.
Hyped. Okay, they like it. Then I'll take another survey from another 5 or 10 people. If they all say that they like it, I'm like, no, I got something.
Okay. All right.
So I just keep on.
So when you're doing those surveys, are you looking at the different age groups to survey, or is it just a certain population of people that you're getting that feedback from?
Well, one of the things that when we were doing Nobody Knows, I recorded that in Dallas. And I told Steve like this as a listener. I said, we need to be able to do something we need to be right in the middle. I need to be able to get some younger ones, and I need to get the older. And I said, my vocals are going to get the older ones.
Yes.
Because my vocals are very smooth, mature, whatever. I said, I can get the older ones, but I said, the music has to get the younger ones.
Mm-hmm.
So when you listen to Nobody Knows, it's that modern day love song with an old school vocal twist to it. And I think that so far so good. Because there are a lot of younger people that like that song, and there are a lot of older people.
Yeah.
Like right in the middle.
Yeah, because for it to be number 30 on the Billboard, it's got to be a population of many different age groups. And I personally know young people that they prefer the older music now or the older sounding music than some of the other lyrics that they may have listened to more. Because I've been around them and I hear them. It's like, what do you know about this song? Because that's back in my day. So I definitely think that the young people will gravitate to your music. So what advice would you give to someone trying to enter into the industry?
Well, one of the things that I try to tell people is you have to learn this business. You have a lot of artists that's so eager to record a song, get it on Spotify, but then the business is not taken care of. If the music is not registered, doesn't have codes, and let's just say the music just blow up one day. How are you gonna get paid?
Right.
So there are a lot of artists really that don't understand the business. And with me, it's been on the job training. been on the drug train. I mean, I've taken some hits on my head and everything, but
Yeah.
I get back up and I keep going.
Right, right. And that's important. We can't let failure keep us down, no matter what it is. If you, as they say, once you fall down, you just got to get back up and keep trying because eventually everything just falls into place. So, and knowing that you have the spirit of just staying motivated no matter what happens, is what's going to continue to keep you in that successful mode with your music and, gravitate, getting the listeners to gravitate, and we're gonna put you on number one. I promise you that. I gotcha. So, what projects are you currently working on, Mr. Hill?
Well, again, me and Stephen Russell from Troop, we're working on a new project and working on a whole new album. It's slated for 2024 sometime. We've got a couple things out the way already, and it's going to be something good. I'm looking forward to it. One of the songs, I'm kind of loving it. It's called "Let's Make Love Tonight." It's a nice dance group,
Okay, all right. So when is that coming out? You said 2024. What month in 2024? You have that date yet?
I don't know yet. Well, I don't know because we're still working running this. Nobody knows, so.
Okay. Well, I sure hope that we will be one of the first to hear it.
Yes.
And we
I'll make sure.
Okay. All right. So now looking forward, Mr. Hill, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I don't know. I ain't thought that far.
Well, you got to have vision now. Come on.
Just keep making music and probably performing, doing some bigger shows, possibly doing some stuff overseas. That could be in the works for 2024. I already, my songs are very popular over in the UK, so I have had someone that reached out to me and asked me would I be considered coming over that way 2024. I did.
Well, it's probably a good opportunity, so I'm sure you're considering it, right?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, Mr. Hill, where, like, if someone wanted to find your music and just get in touch with you and be able to follow you, where can we find you? Do you have Instagram, Facebook?
So, on all social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you can follow me under Roger Hill Music and keep updated on different shows, where I'll be. I got some shows that's coming up in February. I think there's some stuff in December, February. Next year, got quite a few things coming up. But I definitely let people know and keep them up to date on my social media. And then, like, all my music you can find under all the digital platforms, Roger Hill Music, and I also have a Pandora station.
Oh, okay.
Roger Hill Music Radio, so that check it out because people love it. They love it. Oh man, this is real smooth.
Well, I tell you, so Mr. Hill, that's definitely great information that you share because with all of those different areas that anyone can find you, definitely make sure that they will have an opportunity to miss any of your music because you're all over the place. And you're going to be in the UK. I'm going to be seeing you over there too.
Hey, what you got to do?
Yeah, you're going to be there. And I can't wait to say, hey, I remember when I talked to him and he was number 30 and now he's number 1, Mr. Roger Hill. You guys need to listen to his music, okay?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Hill, it's been such a pleasure meeting you and talking with you this evening. And I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening and share with us your journey. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, and there you have it, everyone. You've been listening in with House Call with Mr. Roger Hill from Roger Hill Music. Thank you so much, Mr. Hill, for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Girl, I love your vibes and the games you play. I love to hear the sound every time you say my name.